Okay.
Okay, I hear you.
You hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
But this says hello. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Hi.
All right, so is everybody out there hearing us? Now?
Glasses are kind of dirty. Okay.
Oh, we hear you. Okay.
I don't know what that was about. My computer's been acting
That was weird.
stupid recently, and it's new, and I don't understand why it would do that. But anyway, hi.
It may have to go back to its home for a fix.
I don't know, but hello.
Hello to the world.
I wish that my energy was a little higher. But I've
Look at what I brought for you.
Thank you. I already have one of these. This is the one Brandon got for me.
Oh, are we foregoing breathing? The breathing on it? That one?
Yeah, no, I mean, plus I'm wiping the table down
Okay.
because there's fingerprints on it.
Oh.
Okay. Hi.
And look at what I brought.
Your old wedding ring. Hold on. I have to adjust this. Is that too bright?
A little. That's better.
Okay.
So hello, everybody. So glad you guys can hear us.
Hi.
Her energy's down. My energy's good. You know why my energy's good?
Because of the Verzuz yesterday?
Yeah, I'm still vibing off of the Earth, Wind, and Fire, Isley Brothers Verzuz.
It was good. I mean, I definitely enjoyed myself. I think that, I mean, the thing about Verzuz is they try to set it up so that like it's somebody against somebody else. But honestly, I feel like the Isley Brothers won. But also it was kind of weird. Did you see that video that came on after it?
That's their new single. Yeah, it was like
also for real, like
some family thing.
I'm not gonna say who won because I think it was a pretty like even. I mean, I wasn't really taking score, but do you remember when I was joking and I said that like, oh, he shouldn't do like oh God, is he gonna do Mr. Big?
He should not have done.
I'm like, don't do any R. Kelly songs.
He shouldn't have done the R. Kelly. There were two of them that he did, and my skin was crawling when that was happening. But that aside, I was so sure that Earth, Wind, and Fire were going to blow the Isleys away. And I will say that I think that
Philip Bailey was tired. I just think he was just tired.
I think that Ernie Isley, his guitar playing was spectacular.
Really good, yeah. He did a good job. It was
spectacular. Verdine could have brought his guitar, but I don't think
he brought his wig, and that's
Verdine
really
is not in the same guitar class as Ernie
Isley.
And then Ron Isley, 79 years old.
Looks great with the white beard. Now his teeth don't look like chiclets,
well,
so that's really nice.
He looked better than he probably looked in the past 20 years.
So one of my friends from college said that back, like he was like, remember back in the day, he looked like a Ooga Booga.
Well,
I mean, he did. He has really long teeth.
He had work done, clearly.
Yeah, where?
On his face. He had work done.
Okay.
I don't know if he was Spanxing it up there, but you know.
I mean,
he's 79 years old, but he got a 14-year-old son. His son is the same age as Idris.
It's really gross.
Well, his wife is, I think
look at how long his teeth are here. Look at this.
I think he's older than his wife's father, is what I read.
Who is his wife and where's Angela Winbush?
Well, so he and Philip Bailey used to be brothers-in-law. Because
is this like
Ron Isley's wife is the sister of Philip Bailey's ex.
But this isn't like the Jacksons where two of the brothers married the same person.
It is not.
Okay.
These are two sisters, and Ron Isley and Philip Bailey each married one of the sisters, but Philip has since divorced.
Right.
That's why last night in the 4 hours, in the 4-hour show.
That's too long for 80-year-old people.
Listen, it was great.
It was good. I mean, it was just too long.
In the 4 hours, at one point, Ron Isley called Philip Bailey my brother-in-law. And I was like, oh, that's nice.
Oh,
they're still good.
So nice.
But the last concert I went to that was 4 hours long like that. I mean,
I wish y'all
last
could
night
see
wasn't a
this.
live thing.
Can y'all see this?
Why are y'all showing? What is that? What is that?
Steve Harvey, every time Earth, Wind, and Fire, the
Potatoes.
Isleys play a song. It was okay. Okay, Steve Harvey. Pause.
Okay, I want
Steve
to tell
Harvey
you.
got his entire life last night. He was so excited. I was so excited for him. Did he have on an entire leather outfit, or was that pleather?
I don't know. It probably, if it was pleather, he'd have been sweating like a pig. But I do want to say that as a person who has worked in TV, here's what you could tell. Before they took a break, it was whatever Steve Harvey wanted to do.
Right, because I was
And when
just
they
like,
came
okay.
back from that break,
It made a lot more
it was
sense.
like no.
Yeah, no.
Because all of the people's comments were all pissed off, like, shut up and let us hit. And then
Well, Steve Harvey always gonna tell like a 5-minute story.
Earth, Wind, and Fire weren't always standing up and doing any kind of performance to their music. After they came back from the break, they must have gotten stage directions. Each time we're going to alternate a song. You two stand up and perform along with your song. Sit down. You three get up and perform along with your song.
Right,
they were not doing that. And you, Steve, you go way in the back. In fact, you can be back there with DJ D Nice, who was spinning.
It's just D Nice. You don't have to say DJ.
I'm saying DJ D Nice.
Yeah, but that's too many syllables, and then you sound like you don't know what you're talking about.
His
His name is D Nice.
His name is actually not D Nice.
It is. First of all,
he has a real name.
do you know? What's his real name?
I don't know.
It's Derek.
Well, he has.
You want to know
name.
why? Because I had a crush on him in high school because he was BDP's DJ. No one calls him DJ.
You know who plays golf
with him? His name
with
is D Nice.
You know who plays golf with him?
I don't. Who?
My husband.
That's amazing. My point is that his name is D Nice.
You're always trying to own shit.
Because that's my era. You always trying to own things from your era too.
But what was last night was my era.
I mean, that's fine. D Nice was all right. Go ahead.
And they told Steve Harvey to stay back there. And you could actually see when D Nice started talking about how we got 3 more songs, we got 4 more songs. You saw Steve Harvey before that go back there and tell D Nice something. And after that next song, D Nice stopped and then Steve Harvey started talking again. Right? But all the comments on the side through the whole thing, people were pissed off. Tell Steve Harvey to shut up. We want to hear them. It was like.
If they want Steve Harvey to be quiet, they should have never invited him to host it. I was like, this is going to take like 8 hours.
Well.
And y'all should have had it be early because, okay, here's the other thing.
Who does the inviting to host?
I don't know what people are. Okay, look. I sent this to my friend earlier, okay? So I went to the Verzuz Instagram account yesterday. Okay, wait. I can't show it to you guys because the resolution is going to be low. But it's like, okay, you can watch, Isley Brothers versus Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay, the whole comment thread was this. This. How do we cast it to the TV? The TV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are very black people. Here's my favorite comment. Can you download it to an Android box? What's the Android box? What's the Android box? And then there were lots of comments. Just what time do it start? Somebody tell me. What time is it going to be on? Without Comcast, we can't watch it on an actual TV. I say all that to say that I called my mother ahead of time to go through, so for her to go through, so we could go through so she could watch it because I didn't want to be bothered. Because I already knew that.
Why are you sounding so aggressive about assisting your mother in?
It's not that I'm aggressive. I'm just
casting it.
No, I'm just because I knew that you were looking forward to this, and I didn't have to call you ahead of time.
I appreciated you calling.
I could have just been like, you know what? I don't know. It's on your phone. Figure it out. So
if you had, I wouldn't be sitting in your house.
That's fine because I'd not be asleep.
No, because all these people are waiting to talk to you.
No, these people are the majority of the time these people are talking about you. Look, Paula, something about Bruno Mars, who I don't really deal
Bruno
with.
Mars.
Right, exactly. Like I don't. Whatever.
What do you say? Leave the door open
for whom?
For her. Come on in. Leave the door open. I'm hoping. That was
what
the
are you
song.
Talking about?
That's Bruno Mars's song.
Oh, okay.
With Silky Smooth.
Who is that?
Well, him and who's the other dude?
I don't know. Anderson .Paak? I don't know.
That's exactly who it is.
Yeah, I mean, I like Anderson .Paak, but I mean, I like. I'm not saying Bruno Mars isn't talented.
Well,
It's just
both of
I don't
them-
really like any of his songs so far.
Both of them are, mixed race Asians.
Anderson .Paak, what is he like? Vietnamese?
I read this, but is he not Filipino?
I don't know. Well, Bruno Mars is Filipino and Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I know.
But I did hear that Anderson .Paak is Asian, but I'm not sure like from which country or which ethnicity. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Thank you, Michelle Renee. That dress is so pretty. Thank you. I appreciate that. I had to adjust the straps because of my large shoulders.
Do we not have the capability while we're doing this for people to actually, so we can't have people talk
Oh, you
to us
know what?
anymore?
No, you got to go to Instagram. That's what it is.
Oh, we got to go to Instagram if they want to talk to us?
Yeah, you have to go. Sorry, I got to switch my accounts
To your IG?
to my IG.
Thank you, Michelle Renee.
Hold
That
on.
dress is so pretty. Thank
Okay, so here we go. Nobody's asked a question yet.
Oh, if you all want to ask
Cleon
questions.
said Filipino, I believe.
Oh, I said that too. So let me look him up.
Yeah. Okay.
Anderson .Paak. Usually somebody
We'll say something.
will tell us who it is. Bruno is dope. I love the both of you. Thank you, Dee Dee.
Hey.
Um,
Okay, so let's go on to equally important topics. DMX had a heart attack and he's on life support, and
I
I'm
feel
very
bad for him.
concerned.
That's very sad.
I'm very concerned. DMX has been in my prayers. I've been singing DMX songs all weekend, but I usually have a DMX song in my head anyway. But here's the issue. I mean, so this could go one of two ways. DMX had a heart attack. I heard in these streets that he may have abused a stimulant, cocaine or crack.
Yeah.
We know that he's had a history of crack abuse.
Anderson .Paak is Korean and black.
Okay. My point is that so I'm very concerned for DMX, but if he is a true crackhead, and I think that he really is, I think he's gonna pull out of this okay.
Isn't this the second time he had something like this? This is the second time.
Is it? I don't know. I don't know. Like it all kind of runs together. Like he had a lot of like run-ins with the law and all kinds of other stuff. It just messed up because he's actually, I enjoy him as an actor. I'm not saying he's,
I enjoy him as an actor.
Robert De Niro or Daniel Kaluuya, but he's solid.
He pulls it off like a brother. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want somebody cast to portray a brother,
Interesting.
he was good at that.
Okay, this says
I can't hear the both of you on Instagram, only on here.
try to turn the volume up on your phone. And that should, like, we may be muted on your phone. Or your volume might be down.
I'm listening all the way from Australia.
Nice.
That's Dee Dee Sanelli who said she couldn't hear us.
Okay.
Um,
Hi, Dee Dee Sanelli. What time is it over there? That's what I want to know. Is it like
14 hours, 12 hours, something like that.
I know that
think
means it's early.
I think it's 15 hours.
That's not bad.
Something
So
like
it's
that.
tomorrow morning. Okay. Okay, Sean Upshaw said Dee Dee close the app and reopen it. And then she said, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all just go ahead and do what y'all gotta do. Who said this? Do a punch on your chest a little delicious. You all are gross.
What does that mean?
Probably, I don't know. Somebody just,
Being nasty?
yeah. But who can be the nastiest and the sniveliest? Me. Okay. Alina Franklin on Instagram asked if we've been keeping up with the trial for George Floyd. No. It's theater and I don't have time for this.
I have been keeping up with it, but I can't watch it every day. Right? I can't.
It's theater. We
And-
know what's going to happen. Like, I'm glad it's going to be documented, but like,
Today, the police chief was unequivocal in saying that those behaviors by the cop were against policy. And then when the defense attorney came on and said, well, but did you notice that he wasn't really always on his neck? Sometimes he
who
was
said
on
this?
his
That
shoulder.
black man?
The defense attorney
Oh,
said Did you notice?
Sorry, I was like, who's saying this? Reveal yourself. The defense attorney. So this person sounded stupid. Am I aggressive?
You're being very aggressive.
Well,
I want to complete what I was saying.
Go ahead.
So the black police chief took the stand, and when questioned by the prosecution, he said that the behavior was completely against policy. The defense attorney asked the black police chief, well, but did you notice that Chauvin did not have his knee?
Not Chauvin.
Chauvin. Whatever.
Chauvin.
Shove it up his Chauvin. So that he didn't have his knee on his neck the whole time, but sometimes it was on his shoulder. And the black police chief said, well, yes, I noticed that.
Did anyone make a point that like the muscles that attach to your neck also attach to your shoulder?
And then the police chief said,
because I could have pointed
but
that
there
out.
are no policies that allow for a person to be handcuffed behind one's back in a prone position and having an officer's knee on it. So there you go. So I am, I'm very concerned about the outcome.
We already know what the outcome is going to be. We know that. Are they really going to send that man to jail or prison? No, they're not. They're not.
And how much did they give the family? How much did the city give the family?
Like the highest payout, I think
like
it was
29 million
yeah,
or something.
Yeah. They're not, like, if anything happens to Derek Chauvin, he's not going to serve time. So again, am I paying attention to it? Not really, because it's theater. Like it's theater.
I'm not sure that I would call it that
when
we're talking about the death of a black man. Like,
I would call it that.
So
because
that you're saying the trial is theater.
The trial is theater. It's like, okay, so the whole first week and as of today, it's been like the 911 operator came on and she said something like, oh, I asked my supervisor, I asked somebody else in the room with me, oh, did the feed, was there a glitch in the feed because nothing changed. Like she said that basically he was on his neck. Like it's just person.
Meaning she could watch. She could still see that he was.
There's person after person after person after person, people crying on the stand, doing all these things. I'm not saying that like it's theater in a way that like it shouldn't be taken seriously. I'm just saying that if we're gonna have a trial, there's nothing in the past that's telling me that anything's gonna happen to Derek Chauvin. Nothing. So that's why I follow it superficially, but I kind of feel like, there isn't anything new that I'm learning about it. It's just when it comes to like the death of Black people, especially at the hands of police or just in general, I just really try not to like steep myself too much into it. Like it's just that's really what I'm saying. Like I don't feel that justice is going to be served. Just like, like these white people ran up on the Capitol. And somebody else, some other white person ran up on the Capitol and
when?
Last week.
You mean it killed the cop?
Yeah.
That was a white person who ran up on the
Capitol? I thought it was a white person. Who was that?
You are sorely behind.
Who was this?
A 25-year-old Black man.
Well, you know what?
Who said that he is a follower of Louis Farrakhan and claimed membership in the Nation of Islam. No.
That's good though.
No.
That's good though.
Because the other reason why you should be paying attention to this is that everyone in his family, including the brother who he most recently was living with, said he was suffering from mental detachment, that he was having very serious mental problems, and they had noted a deterioration over the past year.
Okay. Point taken. Here's my point. Counterpoint. I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again, that the majority of people who are victimized by crimes involving assault are actually those who, it's not all these mentally ill people running around and like harming people. Mentally ill people are often the victims. So that's often a trope or a recurring theme that I see in the media all the time. Remember that psychiatrist? He was like, Middle Eastern, and this was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, or maybe a little longer, in Virginia, on the East Coast, and he went up in like the hospital and started shooting people. What's the name of that like official hospital for the
Johns Hopkins?
No.
Walter Reed?
Yeah, something like that. And so they were like, oh, well, he had mental illness. Oh, this person had mental illness. I'm not saying that mentally ill people can't do things that are criminal.
Right.
But what I'm saying is a lot of what I hear, it's always, well, he was having issues. And that's, that's great. But honestly, that's it's none of our business. That's protected health information.
Yeah.
B, that really shouldn't be what's being pushed.
Well,
that's my issue with it.
Let me offer this perspective. I think that depending upon the degree of stress and breakdown in what one can call societal behaviors and standards, norms,
Yeah.
that some of that can push people into a state of mental instability.
No, I think that Black people in general. Oh, I gotta tell you what happened this weekend. Go ahead. I gotta tell y'all what happened this weekend.
So what I am saying here is that there are many factors that go into why a person becomes mentally ill.
Yeah.
Or a somewhat minor mental illness can escalate to a major mental illness. If there was ever a time when this country should be looking at how to care for, treat the mentally ill, it's now.
Mm-hmm.
Because coming off of what we just came off of in the past 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you see that there's a recognition, whether it's completely there or not, but there's a recognition by Biden, by that administration, that they have to do something, hence the multi-trillion-dollar.
That's why I be tired every Monday. I've been working.
Which
is good,
right.
But I'm just like, it's bad.
So what I'm saying is that, somebody who might not have been detectably mentally ill 6 months ago might really now be, or
well, there's anytime you have isolation plus financial issues plus a pandemic that none of us have ever had to deal with ever, like, yeah, people are not in a good place right now. Let me tell you what happened this weekend real quick. Okay, so had a little get together. It was cool. We were outside, socially distanced. I'm gonna tell you about my vaccine issue, my vaccine situation after this story. Okay, so now my friend Aisha came over. I'm about to. She's on punishment right now because she came over here and got college drunk. My point is that she did
with her old ass. Come on.
Okay, you know what? See how you was trying to make faces at me? She was like, I need to lay down. I was like, no, you don't. I was like, you need to go home.
In one's 40s, you get college drunk?
Oh, she was like, that's a good description. It is college drunk. I was like, girl, if you don't get up and go somewhere talking about, I'm nauseous. I was like, no, you're not.
Did we ever talk about who she brought to my?
Okay, no. Okay, so let me tell you what happened this weekend. That's my dog being mad at somebody. Let me tell you what happened this weekend. So we had this get together. And
my eyes are closed. So
Aisha was like, yo, I want to, can I bring somebody with me? And I was like, who? She was like, well, this white dude. I was like, no. So I was like, all right, let me stop acting like that. Let me see a picture. So she sent me a picture.
What, because then he wouldn't be too white? What is a picture
I just wanted to see. Look, you know how I am when it comes to people coming in my house. I want to know, who are you? Where you from? Where your family from?
But you didn't stick with no. You switched to the other answer.
But this is my point. She didn't bring him anyway. Now, we'll move on from Aisha. Here's what happened. So, a friend of a friend who is Black brought their girlfriend who happened to be white. Are you all ready? Is everyone sitting down? I go to answer the door. Now, I'm like legit in like cutoffs and like a sweatshirt, like what I usually wear. Like, I'm not tripping. Like, it's Saturday. We're all having a good time. So I opened the door. The friend of a friend who's Black and male was like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Oh, nice to see you again," because I actually had met him once before. The white chick, I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Oh, nice to meet you." And then she says, "Oh, you're hot." That's mistake number one. Okay, don't.
No, that was mistake number 2.
No. That's mistake number one.
No, mistake number 2 was you letting her come.
I was like, you know what? I was like, here's the thing. This is not my friend of a friend. I have not been around white people, real talk, for more than a year. And those white people that I am around, I know, or we're like, have very like superficial interaction, right? So that being said, later on we had a conversation, and this is after I like fully like ignored her for like a good hour. Why are you mad? This happened to me. So we all sit down, and she said the same thing again. And I was like, okay, this is what I need for you to understand, like for real.
You said to her?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I said, this is what I need for you to understand. First of all, this is my house. And I'm sure when you walked up to this house, you saw the Wu-Tang sign, which, you know, could that be a Black house? Maybe. But the point is that when you walked into my house, you saw me as a Black person in front of you. Now, number one, I don't want you to fetishize me in my own home. I said, this is my sanctuary. We're having like a get together. It's not that serious. And she was like, oh, but it's a compliment. I'm like, but you know what? I didn't ask you for that. Like, that's not something that I would ever do to someone in the first 3 seconds of meeting them. Also, I'm like, who raised you so that like when you go to somebody's house, I'm like, when I go to someone's house, even if I've met the person before, I'm more reserved. Like, hey, how are you? Because there were people there that I met before, and everybody was kind of like, hey, how are you? But these were Black people, right? So that being said, my friend said to this woman, well, you know, we really haven't been around white people for the past year. And honestly, you were just the wrong person to be here tonight.
Then why did you bring her?
Because I guess we were under the impression that this person had home training, knows how to act outside of their home. But here's the other thing. The Black dude, her boyfriend, was like, well, I don't understand what the issue is. And I was like, yeah, because let me tell you something. Have I dated people outside my race? Yes, but you have to train them.
Wait.
Go ahead.
He said to you, he doesn't understand what your issue is?
No. He didn't say it to me. He said it to his friend.
The white girl?
No, the white girl's not my friend. I have a friend of a friend who's Black has a girlfriend who is white.
So your friend invited his friend who brought his white girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how to control who comes into your house better than that?
Excuse me. First of all, yes, I do, because I obviously had a conversation with her. Yes, I very much do.
How did she get it? How did the friend of a friend come with
that person? Okay, first of all, that person did not know about the interaction because I knew myself. And I was like, you know what? In order for me to have a conversation that doesn't completely destroy this entire gathering, I have to sit with myself and really figure out what I want to say. Plus, I've been drinking and Aisha was wilding. So I kind of had to deal with that too. So that happened. And, you know, it was, I mean, I guess it was fine in the end, but the nice thing about it was that the other people, okay, so this also kind of happened. So when we were outside, I was talking to my friends and I thought I was whispering, but I wasn't.
Oh, was that you being college?
I was like, this bitch over here, and she gonna walk in here and say this to me. But I thought I was whispering.
I want to tell you something.
What?
You can, in fact, have conversations like that. And you should have conversations like that when called for. But you don't fucking have conversations like that in your own house. How did somebody like that get into your house to put you in that position where you have to bring her up and then tell her off in your own house?
I didn't tell her off. We had a very calm and collected conversation.
No, here's a conversation.
This is you.
Come with me.
This is you, though.
This is the door. Exit.
Okay. Now, here's what
Not in my own house.
Wait, listen. I'm trying to tell you something that is actually.
sanctuary. You don't let people come in your house.
Okay, this is what I'm trying to say to you now in relation to what we were just talking about. You have a tendency, you are very capable of going off, expressing yourself, but that now I realize is a very healthy thing to do. I, as a Black person, have usually had to think about okay, why are you upset? What do you want to say? How do you convey this without freaking everybody out? You don't care. So I say all that because I had to really take a step back and think about it, because I was like, I really haven't been in this position in a very long time by choice.
But I hear you, and I didn't say that you shouldn't have those kinds of conversations. I said to you that you have to be more judicious about how you let your home be violated.
You're absolutely right. Okay.
So if it means when you're going to have a gathering at your house, you now have mentioned 2 people in this conversation who brought inappropriate people.
No, one person
brought
did.
an
The other
inappropriate
person did not.
to my house, but that was your friend, right?
And then you said that person can't come over there.
And I told you she can't come to my house anymore.
No, you said she could come, but she can't bring anybody else with her.
That's what I said. Now, this other situation, right? What I'm saying to you, in your home, which is your sanctuary, which has blessings and all kinds of stuff going on in here, plus your son.
Yeah.
Do not let people come in who you don't know are going to be able to keep you at a certain equilibrium. If it means saying to people, you can come, but no, you can't bring anybody.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. And again, I just want to say to you and to everybody else out there, I have had issues expressing myself in a manner that's even logical when things like this happen, because I get so upset and I just flip out. And I haven't had to deal with this in a very long time. I just haven't. Like I haven't been around people. I haven't been around anybody who would say anything or do anything like this to me. And it was very shocking. And like my son was here. He wasn't in with all of us, but he was here. And the
energy of the house changes.
Well, right. So
not good.
Right. So hey, you know what? I had my first experience with whiteness.
So I have something
in the past, over the course of the past year.
I have a retort I'd like to share with you.
Okay,
that you can go to it immediately. Right?
Yes. Okay.
So when you were at the door and you were greeting them and she said, "Oh, you're hot," I would have said to her, and I suggest you use this.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Right.
Let her repeat it. Oh, I said you're hot. As I just asked you, what did you say?
Right. Okay. Pause.
Those are warnings.
But Mom, again, I had been drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in my right mind frame.
I'm
of
not
where,
saying
wait,
to you to defend. I'm not
saying that.
Imani, I am merely sharing with you a retort that can be used by all of the people who are here. I'm merely saying, when you say to a person, "Excuse me, what did you say?" You give them a chance
to
take it back.
Yes, and you're saying this for other people because when I usually deal with people who I do not know, I handle them the way that I would handle a patient. And that is often a retort that I'm like, "I'm sorry, what did you say? Like, I didn't hear what you said."
I think that
but I was caught off guard.
Right. And I get it. But I'm merely saying to you that particularly in your own home where you're going to be having, drinks and whatever else, and you're going to have friends over and all of that, that's where a filter gets put into place to make sure that you too are going to have a good time and that no one who's going to violate your home is coming in here.
Yeah.
That just
now we know.
Right. Now we know. Exactly. Right.
Now I know.
I am a big believer in giving a person a chance to swallow the shit that just came out of their mouth.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
But also I want to know exactly, like in most situations, like even high school, whatever, it's like, "I'm sorry, what did you say? Like, I didn't hear what you said." Like I want to know. What'd you say?
I had a boss say to me one time, my boss's boss say to me one time, Paula, so, we're going to take this trip, blah, 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 blah. It was supposed to be a business trip. And did you make your plane reservations yet? And I said, no, the trip is next week. And we just flying from New York to Boston where they got the shuttle, right? They got the Delta shuttle. I said, no, I was going to have my assistant make them in a couple of days. He said, oh, don't worry about it. My assistant will make the reservations for both you and me. And
I already know the story.
You can pick me up. You get a car and then pick me up at my house, and we'll head to the Marine Air Terminal at LaGuardia. He's making me go from 119th Street, right?
To LaGuardia.
3 miles south to pick him up in order to go back north to the airport.
Yeah, but LaGuardia was closer.
I was like, So then he says, and did you make your hotel reservation yet? And my response in my head was, you dumb shit. I just told you I didn't make my air reservation. Why would I have made my hotel reservation? He said, don't worry, my assistant will take care of that too. You'll be staying with me. I looked at him, I said, you mean I'll be staying in the same hotel with you? He said, no, you'll be staying with me. I said to this white man, you've seen my husband, right? He says, oh yes, I've seen him. Yeah. I said, well, in my whole life, I have never fucked ugly, and I ain't about to start with you. Oh my God, Paula. Oh my God. I was just joking. I
know you weren't joking.
And I said, yeah, me too.
Right.
And I walked away. And I went to my journal and wrote down date and time of what was said to me, by whom, where we were standing, and the content of that. My point being that when people say stuff to you, you actually can look for anecdotes about how other people handled it, right?
Yeah.
And then, what was he going to do? Reprimand me because I said what to him? But I said what to him in retaliation for what he said to me?
Right. Which
is like, dude, and by the way, this is a person who I know women were paid off in order to not file.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm not that person who's going to run and hide in the closet and cry. It's like, oh, we're going to go in on this one. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And then I keep notes. So I know we went off on a deep tangent here, but where I am is I think that for everyone, whether your house is a 1-bedroom, whether you live in a studio apartment, whether you live in a house in the neighborhood, wherever, it's your sanctity. And you should not let people come into your house who are going to violate the sanctity of your home.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree. And I think some of what I was dealing with also is that I'm somebody who, I guess when caught off guard in this situation, like I will swallow things.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I have to, I need to figure out, there's too much chaos going on, and I have to take a step back and figure it out. But when I did figure it out, I should have just said something, but I didn't. And it could have had to do with the fact that I was, mixing vodka and rosé.
It could have.
I mean, it could have. But I mean, Danielle said something up here. She was like, "Yeah, you're usually really on point with that." And I'm like, you know what? You're right. But it was like it's Saturday. We're chilling. Like everybody.
And you have every right to do that, and you should have.
Right.
Right. But then
I was like, what is happening?
Then you get fools like this who want to
what's the problem? I was like, you about to find out the problem on the floor.
But you know what?
But that didn't happen.
That seriously is, you can't be in my house with this. You have to leave now.
Yeah.
You have to go.
No, I mean, and that was actually posed to me, do you want them to leave? And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I was like, what I really would like is I really would like to have a conversation with this person.
Nope.
Again, rosé and vodka. Usually I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to them.
Nope.
Get out of my house. Get out of my face. I don't want to see you. But I was like, you know what? I want to have a conversation because I wanted to make this person feel very uncomfortable.
Well, go have the conversation on the curb with your black friend, right? You have
that wouldn't have happened because he was clueless.
Well, then none of that is my problem. Go find another black person who you want to try your ignorant comments out on, right?
Right.
And what is that? Ooh, you're hot. What is that?
I was like, bitch, who are you? That was,
you know what I said, bitch? I know I'm hot. What are you trying to say?
I know.
Bring
but
it.
Mom,
Tell me.
You're very
Aggressive.
How you gonna call me aggressive and that was a problem and now you aggressive and it's fine?
I didn't say it was bad. I was just commenting on your
You
aggression.
acted like it was bad.
Well, you were being aggressive towards me, and
I wasn't being aggressive towards you. I was being aggressive towards the defender.
You were, but I'm saying
Right.
we were just getting started. I was feeling the burn.
I know, but you know how people get excited. I mean, I wasn't directing it towards you. I was just like, who is saying this? Okay.
Jazik says, this reminds me of.
Oh yeah, that's
Amber
right.
Rose.
I forgot about that.
What happened?
This was years ago. I was at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, and it was like a school night, and I gone in there to go get some drinks and parked with valet, and then I was just kind of standing there waiting for me to, get the key back or whatever, the ticket. And then Amber Rose comes tumbling out of this like a black SUV.
Okay.
And she was like, hey, oh my God, this one. And I was like,
What, feeling on you like she was trying to get some titty touching?
well, no, she was like, I love your head on God. And I was like, okay. I mean, I was just like, you know what? Please don't touch me.
Personal distance is very important.
That's the other thing about this pandemic. Like everything is baked into like my ideal world. Like nobody's around me. People don't come up. People just don't run up to me. Everybody's wearing masks. You got to stay 6 feet away from people. Like there are things that I take for granted. And I guess,
I am so totally not a person who people just come up to and touch.
We know that.
I can't.
But I don't know why people do this to me.
It makes my skin cringe. Okay. It's like, and I've turned to people and said, listen, please don't touch me. We can talk, but just don't touch me.
Yeah, no, I'll be like,
I didn't mean anything by it. Well, I get it. I'm just telling you.
But I guess what I'm saying is I have learned how to do it with some nuance. You are right. You're like, no, get away from me.
Give a fuck about nuance.
Okay, but I have to deal with nuance because I have to deal with people who, oftentimes have inappropriate behaviors.
Well, that's different when they're mentally ill.
Yeah, but you know how many people are running around mentally ill in the street? Who are supposedly sane? Yes, is that? I mean, that is a problem. Right. Have I ever run up to anybody and touched them? No.
I've been in the supermarket where when people come up to me and touch me, and I look at them and say, excuse me, don't do that. Don't touch me. Do you want to ask me something? But don't touch me.
I mean, I guess I'm just more, again, you can think in the moment when you're upset. I really am just like, I can't really think, so then I just kind of like attack, and that's not good because I don't want to go to. I don't want to be arrested.
I think there's a question here. Did you tell her not to touch you, Imani? Oh my God, I thought that was a question.
No.
Oh my God, I can't believe some people.
No. Okay. Hi everybody on Instagram. There's more people on Instagram this time around. There was like 74 people.
Okay, they got questions. Somebody asked a question.
Somebody asked a question up here, but somebody actually answered it. Anyway, let me go to some other topics. Okay. Okay. I got my vaccine shot. The first one.
Talk about that, right?
Last Thursday. Let me tell y'all something.
I'm turning it down.
Let me tell y'all something. I specifically wanted the Pfizer vaccine because I have friends who have taken Moderna. And they reported like some really like ill like side effects and adverse reactions. I think I told y'all, one of my friends told me that she got vitiligo on her face.
I got nothing. That was all good.
Okay, so I get the shot at 9:30 a.m. This is on Thursday. Get the shot, boom. Running around. Went and got my nails done. They look real nice. I got a new set. Anyway. But I was sitting there like sometime around like 6 p.m. And then I was like, yo, I'm so tired. But I was like, well, I don't know. I guess I'm just tired. I go home and let me tell you, I have not had COVID because I was not outside last year. But I had COVID symptoms in like 4 hours. It was awful.
You got that from your father's side.
I did not get that from my. How
didn't
do
get
you
that
know?
You didn't get that from me because I had no problem.
My point is that I got home and I was like, God, I'm so tired. And then I was like, hold up, it's 80 degrees outside. I'm like, is anybody else cold? I was shivering. Then I went upstairs. Yo, that whole no taste, no smell thing is real. It was so, wait, before you even, I didn't get anything. I know you didn't get anything.
Are you trying to scare the people?
No, I'm telling people,
Oh.
no, I'm telling y'all, like, because I read this morning about men's immune responses versus women's immune responses. And apparently there have been, I could be getting this wrong, but the article was suggesting that men, when they've had COVID, oftentimes will perish faster because their immune responses aren't as robust as women's immune responses in general. So they go from like having it to like boom. Whereas with women, it's like we're also more willing to report side effects or any type of symptoms. So now my new symptom. So then I had a headache over the weekend. I was tired on Saturday. My new symptom is that my knees,
which were okay now, hurt.
My knees hurt.
Okay, well, give it some time. It'll go away.
But it's been almost a week. And I was told that like, people were like, well, if you had an issue with the first shot, when you get the second shot, you won't feel anything and vice versa. I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, I got the injection and everything because I was supposed to. And, I'm a doctor and it's my civic duty and all that. But I'm just like, this knee situation is not cool. Like, I need for y'all to refine this vaccine a little bit more.
You'll get the cryotherapy that Roosevelt got that he said would make your whole joints and everything feel
better.
I
don't know because my doctor who did my injections told me that heat actually helps, like my joints.
Did you tell
But
him?
then I was like, oh my God, what if I have rheumatoid arthritis and that's what's happening to me?
You didn't get that from me.
You know what? It's almost 6 o'clock. Let me see something.
But wait, you should tell your doctor. Did you tell your doctor that you're having knee soreness?
No, because I was like, I'm gonna just walk it off and see what happens.
Oh, you just gonna make up stuff?
Because I don't like going to the doctor about.
I didn't say go to the doctor. I said call. You see that thing right there? Like
what's he gonna say?
Telemedicine.
What's he? Oh no. This is just the doctor who like treated my knee.
Is he a doctor?
Yeah, but I'm a doctor too. I'll figure it out.
But it's that one.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Oh, because you know all kinds of medicine.
No, but I'm just like, usually I can. First of all, I do know all kinds of medicine. That's number one. Okay, number two.
Did we ever talk about how when Idris was being born, how she bit me?
No. Yeah, we did. You know why? Because your hand was in the way.
She bit me because
nobody wants to hear it. No one cares.
She didn't take the Lamaze classes.
Why would I do that?
How to breathe.
I know how to breathe.
She didn't learn how to breathe through the contraction.
I know how to breathe.
So as they were saying, push, she pushed and then she'd stop.
How is somebody going to tell me how hard to push before I even like have a baby? Just push really hard. Okay. That's not going to help me. Oftentimes I've been thrown into situations where I had to learn trial by fire.
Your labor was longer than it should have been.
Your labor was longer than it should have been.
Mine, because I shouldn't have had labor because I shouldn't have had a thing.
Well, you know what? You and your thing, when it comes to labor, I won.
You didn't win.
Yes, I did.
How did you win?
Because my labor was shorter and my baby was cuter.
You're right. Your baby was cuter than my baby.
Anyway, I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Looking like a turtle.
Kojo's Tropical. You a turtle. Kojo's Tropical asked me, have I been meditating? You know what? I actually meditated this morning. I didn't really have anything specifically
now, see,
to meditate on.
Williams,
I am talking now.
I remember the Tuskegee experiment. See? Now go ahead and address.
Okay, you guys. There's a big difference between the Tuskegee experiment and getting why are you shaking your head? Because now I can't make my point.
Make your point.
There's a big difference between the Tuskegee experiment and this vaccine. So the Tuskegee experiment, right? Those men were not told that they were getting infected with syphilis. Now, I don't believe that there's anything in these vaccines outside of the media that they use, like the actual like sterile water that they use. There are some bits and fragments of the virus in the vaccine. And also like preservatives, like certain people can't get the vaccine because they're allergic to certain preservatives. Basically what I'm experiencing is what is supposed to have happened, but I just didn't think that I was going to have this robust of an immune response. And at the end of the day, I will say that it just shows me that my immune system is working. My knee's getting better. Go ahead. Since you always want to say something.
Well, after you spent however many minutes
Why
saying
can't
what
I-
a drudge and how miserable it was.
No, I didn't say, oh my God. I said, oh my God, I'm dying. Like I didn't expect to feel that way. But like but this is evidence that my immune system is working. And I wasn't the first in line to get the vaccine. You got the vaccine earlier than I did.
I did.
Right. Because in medicine, they say that you should always start low and go slow with the medication. Danielle, please, shout me out. And also never be the first or last person, never be the first person to try a new medication or vaccine. And I wasn't. But, I got issues.
So, girl, what you watching? Asks, how do you handle microaggressions in the workplace as a Black woman?
I feel and can literally prove I'm being overworked, but don't want to come off as an angry Black woman.
Why are you being, okay, let me ask this question. If you are being overworked, why does that translate to you being an angry Black woman?
Right.
Why wouldn't you, if you're being overworked, have a meeting with HR or your management with whatever documentation you have to prove that you are doing more than other people? I don't know what the definition of overworked means, right? I don't know if you're an hourly worker. If you're an hourly worker and you feel you're overworked, then you get overtime. If you're a salaried worker and you feel that you're overworked, these jobs actually encompass, a reasonable expectation that you're going to have a certain amount of time off, but it's not like an 8-hour-a-day job. However, if you feel that because you're a Black person, you're being taken advantage of, I don't know that I would then translate that to angry Black woman. There's a way to deal with, to make sure that what you get is fair treatment. And if you're not getting fair treatment, you get a fair settlement.
Yeah. Also, I'm wondering what type of work do you do? Like, do you do work where you belong to a union?
That's what I meant by
yeah. I mean, doctors don't have unions.
You can't see.
So I've been overworked for years. But I also luckily work in a workplace where I think like, except for 2 people, everyone in an administrative position is a person of color.
Yeah.
So
I am hourly, but I work for a medical device company and we enter orders for hospitals and facilities. I input twice the number of orders as the others on my team. I am frustrated, but okay. So that means you work faster. Right. You work faster than your colleagues. So it sounds like your definition of overwork is controllable.
Right.
If what you want to do is exceed what their output,
do it.
If you want to exceed their output, do it. If you want to be paid more for exceeding their output, you don't work in the kind of job that calls for that.
Right.
Right. I'm going to make up a number. If they input 10 an hour and you input 20 an hour, your boss might say, oh, we should give girl what you watching a raise. But if they don't say that, then you need to slow down.
Yeah, I didn't have a job like yours, but I did have this job once where I had to input. It was like data entry, basically. And I had to, I did input things faster because if I didn't, I would go to sleep.
Yeah. So
I was just like, well, I can't, if I try to slow it down, like I'm just going to be like really, really tired. And I don't feel like doing all that.
Brooklyn Baby 204 says HR is there to protect the company, not the employee directly. HR has to walk a fine line because HR has to represent, based on company policies, they've got to make sure that the company doesn't violate the policies as it relates to the employees. But you're right, HR is there as an employee of the company. But what I am saying is, if they, the company, do not determine that on an hourly basis, each person is expected to input a minimum amount of this number of entries, the fact that Girl What You Watching is doubling, I made that up, what her peers is doing, then Girl What
Peers
are doing, then Girl What You Watching, you should stop
working so hard.
Well, if you're not going to be compensated for it,
Don't
why
do
are you
anything
doing
extra
it and then being angry about it?
Right.
If that's not what the job calls for,
don't do it.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do it. Sean Upshaw just asked, Dr. Imani, will you cover social anxiety implications regarding COVID resocialization on your show? I feel it might be needed for those who are nervous about engaging with one another after COVID. I think we did cover it in the past, but also I would just like to add that Imani State of Mind is on all streaming platforms. This week we are talking with, or we had an interview with, Nicole Perkins about anxiety and how her mom has anxiety, and they talk about it, and they're both taking medication, and it's really nice.
Are you saying that with a very focused?
Because you don't listen.
I'm not taking it. Salamander.
I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished.
Go ahead.
So anyway, I may do it in the future, but I'm on hiatus right now. Taking a break from my podcast. Go ahead and answer your question.
Salamander 321 says, my mom and I have had tension since last week. We live together. She's giving me the silent treatment. That sounds very stressful.
Don't ice me out.
Is it that you and your mom are the only ones living together? How old is your mom? How old are you? Whose house is it? Whose residence
Who's
is
responsible for bills and financials and all that?
Those things, I think, come into play. We talked a few weeks ago about how I put my mother on timeout. I also had put my father on timeout because they weren't treating me as an adult daughter.
Put you on timeout all the time.
You have never put me on timeout.
I put you on timeout, but then you don't care because you're brolic and you don't have any proof. That's why.
I don't care. You can't put me on timeout. So I think that living with one's parent is difficult, but it actually, if you look at other cultures where 2 and 3 generations live in the same household, sometimes that actually is a good thing for the whole family community. But I don't know enough about your circumstance.
Okay, before you answer another question.
Brooklyn, I'm not answering more. I just want to find her name.
Okay.
Brooklyn Baby 204. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's 6:08 and I gotta eat. I had a really long day today. I went hiking. Me and my dog went hiking. We had mad fun. We were at my parents' house. She like was licking the fountain, like she put her little paws up.
That's
and it was rolling around the water.
A granite fountain with water that trickles down the side, and she's licking the fountain.
My dog is crazy. Anyway, thanks, Coda Tropicals. I certainly have fun this episode. I hope y'all have a good week.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that you all, don't stifle yourself like I have in the past. If you feel some kind of a way, say it. Let know.
Say it. You should always address it in the moment. Don't let it steep and stew and whatever.
Because then when you flip out, no one's going to really understand why you're so, which is what's happened to me several times in the past.
Yeah, I actually don't flip out.
Yes, you do. No.
Yes,
you do. You flip out in the moment. What are you talking about?
It's calculated.
It's not calculated.
Flip out suggests
I want for you to get away from me right now.
Yeah, that suggests I've lost control. I haven't lost control. Flipping out.
I have to go. I can't do this. I can't do this.
I am certainly capable of being angry and assertive and all of that, but that's not because I've lost it, which is what flipping out means to me. It's like, no, I do that deliberately. I'm going to back you up, and I might scream at you, and I might even come across as threatening, and I'm okay with that. That's my intention.
Bye, Danielle. I miss you too. I'm about to go lay down. I'm tired.
You're always tired,
I know,
and you're always looking for something to eat.
because I like to eat.
Next time I'm going to bring you a candy.
I don't want a candy.
But you
I don't want a candy. It's time to eat at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Bye, you guys.